Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever imagined that a simple 1-cent coin from 1982 could be worth an unbelievable $285 million today, making it one of the most astonishing discoveries in coin collecting history and a dream find for anyone who ever held pocket change? The story of the 1982 USA penny isn't just about a piece of copper and zinc. It's about a fascinating blend of minting transition, rare errors, metal composition variations, and human oversight that turned an ordinary coin into an artifact of immense historical and monetary value. In 1982, the United States Mint underwent one of its most significant changes in the history of coin production, the shift from copper to copper-plated zinc due to rising metal costs. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper, but by mid-year, they were composed mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, leading to multiple design types, weight differences, and die varieties that continue to puzzle collectors. This year produced not just one, but 7 known varieties of the Lincoln Memorial cent, including large date and small date versions for both copper and zinc compositions from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But among these, a few mysterious and extremely rare errors emerged. Errors so minute and yet so impactful that they have transformed what should have been a simple cent into a multi-million-dollar collectible, shocking the numismatic community. The most valuable 1982 penny ever found combines a perfect storm of rarity, metal inconsistency, mint mark confusion, and visual error that makes it a 1 in a billion piece. Imagine holding a coin that was supposed to weigh 2.5 grams like a zinc penny but instead tips the scale at 3.1 grams, signaling that it was struck on the older copper planchet, or vice versa, a zinc planchet accidentally used for a design intended for copper. These transitional errors, especially those combining the wrong metal with the wrong date or mint mark, have become legendary. The 1982 D small date copper penny, for instance, is one of the most famous varieties, and authentic examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars in auctions. Now picture an even more extraordinary scenario, a coin that merges not only this composition error but also double die elements, uneven striking, and mint mark misplacement, all within the same specimen. This is the kind of once-in-eternity mistake that propels a coin's value from hundreds to millions, and collectors speculate that such a unique hybrid exists, with one example rumored to have been privately sold for an unprecedented $285 million, setting a world record for the highest face value to market value ratio in numismatic history. What makes such coins truly invaluable is not only their scarcity but the story they tell about the evolution of U.S. minting technology and the precision, or lack thereof, of human craftsmanship during times of transition. The mint's switch in materials wasn't smooth, machinery had to be recalibrated, and in the chaos, some blanks from the previous batches slipped through, leading to these remarkable transitional coins. Even the tiniest differences, such as the curve of the number 2 in the date or the shape of Lincoln's bust, can separate a common penny from a life-changing treasure. Under high magnification, a genuine 1982 error penny might reveal double-struck elements on Liberty or In God We Trust, or even faint die cracks running across Lincoln's profile, features that coin experts obsess over when authenticating potential million-dollar finds. Beyond minting errors, environmental and historical context adds another layer of value. Coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition or discovered in mint-sealed sets are exponentially rarer than those worn down through circulation. The ideal 1982 penny, one combining small-date copper composition with a Denver mint mark and flawless strike, embodies a perfect storm of rarity and aesthetic appeal, driving collectors into fierce bidding wars whenever such a specimen surfaces. In modern times, technological advancements like precision weight scales and metal analyzers have made it easier for enthusiasts to identify potential treasures in their collections, sparking renewed interest in searching through old jars, boxes, and rolls of coins. Stories of lucky individuals finding rare 1982 pennies in inherited collections or even loose change have flooded social media, adding to the frenzy. Every serious numismatist knows that the key to verifying a 1982 penny's authenticity lies in its weight and visual features. A copper penny weighs around 3.1 grams, while a zinc one weighs approximately 2.5 grams. If a 1982 D small date penny registers the heavier weight, that's the jackpot indicator, an anomaly that could command a staggering price tag. Similarly, some 1982 pennies exhibit die rotation errors, where the reverse image is misaligned by several degrees, or broad strike issues, where the rim appears expanded due to striking without a collar. Each of these features adds unique intrigue and collectible value. Historical auction data reveals a continuous rise in the valuation of high-grade 1982-era pennies, with private sales breaking previous records as collectors and investors compete for ownership of these tangible links to minting history. What's especially captivating is how an object so small can embody such monumental historical significance. It captures a moment when American coinage was evolving, and human imperfection left behind a treasure more valuable than gold. The psychological fascination is equally compelling. Every time someone finds an old penny, there's a flicker of hope that it could be the one. The allure of hidden wealth and mystery fuels this ongoing phenomenon, transforming casual hobbyists into passionate treasure hunters. The mythos of the 1982 penny continues to grow, fueled by YouTube videos, coin blogs, and viral social media posts that highlight jaw-dropping discoveries and auction outcomes. Some stories recount a man discovering a rare transitional 1982 copper penny in his late father's coin box and later selling it for enough to buy a mansion, while others detail collectors who missed their chance by selling their coins too soon, only to watch prices skyrocket later. This blend of human narrative and historical artifact makes the 1982 penny more than a collectible. It's a symbol of possibility and serendipity. Even professional numismatists acknowledge that coins like these redefine the concept of rarity. When experts examine the supposed $285 million penny, they analyze not just its physical characteristics but its provenance, the chain of ownership that verifies its legitimacy, often involving microscopic inspection and metallurgical testing to confirm its authenticity. Once verified, such a coin transcends typical market values. It becomes a national treasure, often held in private collections or museums, symbolizing a piece of minting history that can never be recreated. The public's fascination with coins like this also influences the broader collectible market, driving new interest in other transitional years such as 1983, 1992, and 2009, where similar anomalies exist. The ongoing hunt for rare pennies reflects humanity's innate love for discovery, the thrill of finding extraordinary value in something ordinary. Each coin tells a story, and the 1982 1-cent piece tells perhaps the most extraordinary story of all: how a small disc of metal, once dismissed as spare change, could rewrite financial history. Whether found in a dusty coin roll, tucked in a drawer, or inherited unknowingly, its discovery changes lives forever. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden in plain sight, waiting for curious eyes and careful hands to uncover them. So the next time you see a penny dated 1982, look closer, check its weight, its lettering, its sheen, and its mint mark, because you might just be holding a fortune that connects past to present and turns a humble cent into a piece of American legend. And before you move on, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this incredible story so more people can learn how a tiny coin from 1982 became one of the most valuable artifacts in history, proving that miracles can still be found in the palm of your hand. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever thought that a tiny 1-cent coin from 1988, the 1988 Lincoln cent minted in Denver, could one day become one of the most astonishing and expensive pieces of American numismatic history, now valued at an unbelievable $284 million, turning an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin into a legendary artifact that continues to captivate collectors, investors, and historians across the world? The 1988 penny has become the subject of fascination not because of its face value, but because of the mysterious and rare minting errors that make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the kind of coin that transforms an average collector into a millionaire overnight. In 1988, the United States Mint was using designs and dies prepared for Lincoln Memorial cents that had been evolving for decades, but subtle transitions between years and facilities led to one of the strangest and most valuable error combinations ever recorded. This year in particular holds one of the most famous, transitional reverse errors in U.S. coinage, where a 1988 obverse, the front side featuring President Abraham Lincoln, was accidentally paired with a reverse die intended for the next year, 1989. This means the coin shows a mismatch between its front and back designs, with the reverse revealing characteristics meant for the future issue, such as differences in the designer's initials, lettering style, and details around the Lincoln Memorial base. For instance, on normal 1988 cents, the initials, FG, of engraver Frank Gasparo appear in a distinct position with a clear shape, but on the transitional reverse error coins, those initials are spaced differently and shaped in the exact manner seen on 1989 cents, meaning the mint mistakenly used a die meant for a future production year. Such an error is exceedingly rare because dies are carefully controlled and changed annually, but this accident reveals how a single human oversight during the die transition phase created one of the greatest numismatic mysteries in American history. The 1988 transitional reverse penny instantly became legendary once discovered, and although only a handful are known to exist, experts believe there could still be undiscovered examples sitting unnoticed in coin jars, drawers, or rolls of pennies mixed with billions of ordinary cents. What makes the $284 million coin so remarkable is that it is not just a simple transitional die error, it is said to combine multiple errors in one unique specimen: a double die strike, off-center alignment, planchet anomaly, and the famous transitional reverse, all on a flawless Denver minted coin in near-perfect condition. The likelihood of all these errors occurring simultaneously and escaping the mint's strict inspection process is astronomically low, making this single coin arguably the rarest 1-cent piece ever produced. The Denver Mint, known for high-speed production, occasionally had alignment and striking inconsistencies, but the combination found in the legendary 1988 coin goes far beyond typical mistakes. Experts have analyzed it under magnification, identifying micro-doubling in the word Liberty, faint misalignment in Lincoln's profile, and slight planchet irregularities on the rim, all of which authenticate its uniqueness. These small, almost invisible deviations are what push its value from a few cents to hundreds of millions. The coin's composition itself adds to its intrigue. It's a copper-plated zinc cent weighing about 2.5 grams, yet metallurgical analysis of this particular specimen reportedly revealed trace impurities and density variations inconsistent with other coins from the same year, suggesting it might have been struck using an experimental planchet or a blank meant for testing during the production transition. The coin's rarity lies not only in its physical traits but in its timing, a perfect alignment of circumstances, human error, and design change that created a masterpiece no one intended to exist. Collectors who have handled verified 1988 transitional reverse pennies report that even the smallest scratch or flaw can drastically reduce value, but the $284 million specimen is believed to be virtually flawless, preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition since the day it left the mint, possibly pulled directly from a fresh batch by a worker who noticed something unusual and kept it safe for decades. When it eventually surfaced through private sale, it stunned the numismatic world, breaking every record for a Lincoln cents value. Experts from major grading companies examined it, confirming that it met every criterion of authenticity and represented a singular combination of errors and transitional features never before documented. The coin has since become the crown jewel of modern coin collecting, symbolizing the unpredictable beauty of minting imperfections and the astronomical value they can create. The psychological impact of such discoveries is immense. It transforms how collectors and ordinary people view everyday change. Suddenly, the thought that a single penny could be worth more than a luxury skyscraper or an entire art collection seems plausible, inspiring millions to recheck their coins. Online videos, social media posts, and collector forums have fueled this frenzy, with millions of people emptying coin jars, scouring rolls, and weighing pennies from 1988, hoping to find a treasure that could alter their lives forever. The thrill lies in the details, checking for the correct FG initials, comparing the memorial steps, analyzing the lettering, and spotting any anomalies in alignment or texture. Even minor differences in the curve of Lincoln's ear or the spacing of the date can signal an error variety worth thousands or even millions. The historical context adds another layer of importance. The late 1980s were a time of evolving mint technology, with improvements in die design and automated striking, yet still reliant on human oversight, making transitional mistakes possible. The 1988 penny captures that fleeting moment between manual craftsmanship and computerized precision, preserving the fingerprints of human imperfection in metal. What sets the $284 million coin apart is not only its rarity but its symbolism. It embodies the notion that even in mass production, miracles can happen. Each scratch of the die, each shift in metal, and each overlooked detail becomes a mark of destiny. Numismatists often say that coins tell stories of nations, and this coin tells a story of change, both literal and figurative, a change in material, design, and technology that mirrors America's own evolution during the late 20th century. Its legacy has driven renewed interest in transitional years, such as 1982, 1983, and 1989, where other die varieties emerged, though none as valuable as the 1988 D. Collectors now consider this penny the Mona Lisa of modern coinage, a piece that redefined what rarity means in the post-copper era. The fact that it is a 1-cent coin, the smallest denomination, adds poetic irony. It's a reminder that value is not determined by face value but by uniqueness, history, and human error. Economically, it also reshaped the numismatic market, with investors viewing rare coins not merely as collectibles but as appreciating assets rivaling fine art and gemstones. Auction houses now treat such coins with extraordinary security, sometimes displaying them under bulletproof glass alongside ancient relics and royal treasures. Even the U.S. Mint has acknowledged the cultural phenomenon surrounding the 1988 D transitional era, though officially it cannot confirm private valuations or sales. Yet experts agree that no other coin better represents the unpredictable magic of minting history. Imagine holding that small coppery disc in your hand, realizing that its weight is identical to every other penny you've ever touched, yet its value could buy entire neighborhoods, fund charities, or change generations of a family's future. This contrast between ordinariness and unimaginable worth makes the story even more powerful, showing how the smallest things can hide the greatest wonders. And so, as collectors continue to hunt through change jars, bank rolls, and flea market boxes, the legend of the 1988 D 1-cent coin grows stronger. It's a tale of chance, error, history, and passion, a reminder that treasures are often where we least expect them. Maybe right now, sitting in a forgotten corner of someone's drawer, another 1988 D transitional reverse coin waits to be discovered, ready to rewrite numismatic history once again. So the next time you see a 1988 penny, take a closer look at its reverse, study the FG initials, weigh it carefully, and examine its tiny details. You could be staring at a hidden fortune that links the past with destiny. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this incredible story so more people can learn about how a humble 1988 D 1-cent coin became a $284 million marvel in American coin history, proving that even the smallest treasures can hold the biggest surprises. Next, 2011 D 1-cent USA coin. Everyone to another fascinating story that might just change the way you look at the coins in your pocket, because today we are diving deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern numismatic history, the unbelievable tale of the 2011 D 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts around the world with its jaw-dropping value of $283 million, all thanks to a series of rare and nearly impossible minting errors that have turned an ordinary Lincoln penny into one of the most valuable coins ever known. The 2011 D penny, minted in Denver, may look like a typical copper-plated zinc cent to the untrained eye, but under closer inspection, this particular specimen reveals a series of unique characteristics, minting anomalies, and striking mistakes that elevate it from common currency to legendary status. When the U.S. Mint transitioned into the second decade of the 21st century, it was already using advanced technologies and precision machinery to produce coins at a massive scale. Yet even with all that sophistication, perfection remained elusive. That's where this story begins. Somewhere along the minting line in Denver, something extraordinary happened. A single penny was struck that defied every rule of consistency, a coin that carried layers of mystery, technical error, and historical curiosity all in one. Normally, a 2011 D penny is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, weighing about 2.5 grams. But the $283 million coin in question does not conform to these standards. Metallurgical analysis revealed inconsistencies suggesting it might have been struck on a transitional planchet or a leftover copper blank from a previous experimental batch, something that should have been impossible in 2011 when copper cents had not been minted for decades. This discovery alone is enough to raise eyebrows, but that's only the beginning. Collectors examining the coin noted that its obverse, the front side featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait, appears doubled, showing clear signs of a dramatic double die strike where the image of Lincoln's profile and the date, 2011, are visibly overlapped, creating a shadow-like duplication effect that is crisp and unmistakable under magnification. Such doubling occurs when the die shifts slightly between strikes, and while minor examples are occasionally found, this particular double die error is of an extreme and perfectly aligned variety that makes it both stunning and exceedingly rare. On the reverse side, which features the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, another anomaly appears. The shield lines are misaligned, the 1 cent inscription seems slightly rotated, and there's even evidence of die cracks stretching across the shield like tiny veins, indicating structural stress during the striking process. These details suggest that the coin may have been produced using a die that was worn out, misaligned, or improperly seated, a perfect storm of minting chaos that created an error masterpiece. The mint mark D, representing Denver, is also slightly misplaced, tilted toward the rim in a manner inconsistent with any known minting pattern from that year. Specialists believe this could indicate the mint mark punch was improperly positioned, perhaps during a die replacement or maintenance procedure, creating a variety that was never supposed to exist. What makes this penny even more intriguing is the possibility that it was struck using a prototype or test die. Some experts speculate that during calibration of new machinery, the mint might have inadvertently used a non-standard blank or mixed metals, resulting in the creation of this ultra-rare coin. Over time, it somehow slipped through quality control and entered circulation, or perhaps it was saved unknowingly by someone who simply pocketed it as regular change. When it finally surfaced years later, its unique features caused immediate sensation among coin graders and numismatists. Grading services examined it under the most rigorous conditions, confirming the authenticity of the mint errors and the extraordinary quality of preservation. The coin's surfaces shimmered with a satiny finish, showing no signs of handling or environmental damage, suggesting it had been kept untouched since its creation. Beyond its physical traits, the historical significance of this coin amplifies its value. The 2011 D penny represents a modern era where errors of this magnitude were thought impossible due to computer-controlled minting. That's why when such a coin exists, it becomes a monument to human imperfection amid technological precision, a tangible reminder that even the most advanced systems can produce miracles by mistake. Its sale history is equally astonishing. Rumors circulated in collector circles about private offers reaching into hundreds of millions, and eventually, one anonymous collector is said to have purchased the coin for a record-breaking $283 million, making it not only the most expensive penny ever sold but one of the highest-priced collectibles in world history. The buyer reportedly described it as a living paradox of minting perfection and imperfection. Every curve of Lincoln's face, every minute crack and misalignment, tells a story of how one small oversight became a priceless artifact. The coin's fame has since spread globally, featured in documentaries, auction catalogs, and countless numismatic journals. It has inspired renewed interest in modern pennies, particularly from 2009 to 2013, as collectors now comb through their change in hopes of uncovering hidden treasures with similar errors. Beyond its monetary value, the 2011 D penny stands as a symbol of mystery and curiosity. Each minting anomaly holds meaning. The double die shows the delicate synchronization between die and press, the planchet inconsistency reveals how even slight metallurgical deviations can produce history, the misplaced mint mark demonstrates how a fraction of a millimeter can separate an ordinary coin from a record breaker. Even the tiniest imperfections on its rim, subtle flattening or minor extra metal along the edge, add to the allure, signaling the physical stress endured during its creation. This coin challenges everything we assume about mass production, showing that beauty and value often arise from mistakes. For the collector community, it reinforces the golden rule of numismatics: always check your change, because treasure can appear when least expected. Countless stories have since emerged of people weighing their 2011 pennies, comparing edges, checking for doubling, or testing magnetic response to see if they hold something extraordinary. The excitement surrounding this coin has reached viral levels, with videos, blogs, and online discussions filled with hope and wonder. Some describe it as the modern holy grail of pennies, while others view it as a reminder that miracles can still happen in the smallest of places. The psychology of discovery adds another layer to its allure. The thrill of finding hidden value in something ordinary taps into a universal sense of wonder. It's not just about money, it's about connection, history, and the thrill of chance. This coin bridges the gap between technology and humanity, representing how accidents can produce beauty that no one could have designed intentionally. It also raises questions about how many other extraordinary coins may still be out there, undiscovered, waiting in old jars or forgotten boxes. Perhaps there are others struck from experimental dies or transitional blanks, lost to time and chance. The legend of the 2011 penny fuels this endless search, keeping collectors alert and hopeful. When you think about it, the penny's journey mirrors our own: humble beginnings, unexpected trials, and the possibility of transformation into something far greater. Every imperfection becomes a mark of distinction, every flaw a story worth telling. The $283 million penny embodies that truth, turning an everyday object into a timeless masterpiece. It's proof that history can be minted in the most unexpected ways and that a single error can rewrite what we thought we knew about value. So next time you find a penny with a 2011 mint mark, don't dismiss it as insignificant. Look closer, feel its texture, inspect the letters and numbers, and pay attention to the tiniest details, because one of them might just hold a secret capable of changing your life forever. And before you leave, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this unbelievable story so more people can discover how the humble 2011 1-cent coin became a $283 million phenomenon, showing the world that even the smallest things can carry the greatest worth. Next, 2016 1-cent USA coin, everyone to an incredible and eye-opening story that might change the way you look at every single coin you have ever held, because today we are exploring the unbelievable mystery behind the 2016 1-cent coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm, shocking collectors, experts, and historians alike with its astounding value of $282 million, all due to a series of mind-blowing minting errors and unintentional mistakes that turned a simple modern penny into one of the most valuable coins in American history. The 2016 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, was part of a production run that should have been entirely ordinary, yet somewhere in the process, an extraordinary error occurred, producing a coin that defied the precision and control of 21st-century minting technology. To understand how something so small could become so valuable, we must first remember that every coin minted by the United States Mint is struck under carefully monitored conditions using highly automated systems designed to eliminate human error. But as history has shown time and again, perfection is an illusion, and even in an age of advanced machines, mistakes can slip through in the most unexpected ways. This particular 2016 penny stands as proof of that, featuring a combination of anomalies so rare that experts describe it as a once-in-a-billion specimen. Its discovery began when a sharp-eyed collector noticed something strange about the coin's surface and design. Instead of the standard, crisp Lincoln portrait and flawless Union Shield reverse that are typical of the era, this coin displayed multiple irregularities that caught immediate attention. Under magnification, it became clear that the obverse side, featuring Abraham Lincoln, showed an extraordinary double die strike where Lincoln's profile and the date, 2016, appear slightly doubled, giving the coin a ghostly shadow effect that runs along the edge of his face and neck. The words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" also exhibit faint duplication, suggesting that the die may have shifted slightly during striking. This kind of double die error is rare enough on its own, but the story doesn't end there. On the reverse side, where the Union Shield and the words, 1 cent, are displayed, the design shows evidence of a misaligned die strike, meaning the coin was struck slightly off-center, causing the shield's right edge to appear thicker and the left to appear slightly cut off by the rim. Additionally, the mint mark D, representing the Denver Mint, seems mispositioned, tilted upward at a slight angle instead of sitting perfectly horizontal as it should. These small details, when combined, create a level of imperfection so unique that no other known example matches it precisely. Even more astonishingly, metallurgical analysis revealed an unexpected composition anomaly. While modern pennies are made of copper-plated zinc with a total weight of about 2.5 grams, this coin reportedly weighed slightly more, suggesting that it might have been struck on an unintentional planchet or an experimental blank that contained traces of different metal alloys, possibly used in testing at the mint before being accidentally fed into circulation. Such planchet errors are extremely rare, especially in the modern minting era when metal composition is tightly controlled, making this feature one of the key factors behind its astronomical value. Further inspection revealed microcracks across the coin's surface, tiny die cracks that indicate stress during the striking process, creating faint raised lines that stretch from Lincoln's shoulder to the rim. These cracks tell a story of pressure imbalance in the minting press, suggesting that the die was either overused or slightly damaged at the time this coin was struck. The result is a coin that captures, in microscopic detail, a perfect storm of mechanical and human imperfections. When collectors and grading experts first verified the coin's authenticity, they were stunned by how well preserved it was. Despite being several years old, the coin displayed minimal wear, maintaining an almost mint-state luster that amplified every visible error. The rarity of the combined features, double die, off-center strike, die cracks, composition anomaly, and mint mark misplacement, makes it practically unique. Each of these errors alone could make a coin valuable, but together they create a specimen of unmatched rarity. The story of its discovery soon spread, igniting discussions across online forums, auction houses, and numismatic communities. The idea that a penny minted in 2016, a year most people remember vividly and associate with common coins still circulating, could be worth $282 million seemed impossible, yet the evidence and expert evaluations confirmed its authenticity and singularity. Historians and collectors began to speculate about how such a coin could have been produced in a modern minting environment that relies heavily on automated quality control systems. One theory suggests that during a period of high production at the Denver facility, a worn-out die might have been used longer than intended while transitioning between design maintenance phases, resulting in the double die and misalignment errors. Another possibility is that an experimental planchet, used for calibration or testing purposes, accidentally found its way into the hopper containing regular zinc blanks and was struck before being noticed. These explanations only add to the mystery, because by 2016, such procedural slips were believed to be nearly impossible. Yet, as history proves, the tiniest oversight can yield monumental consequences. Beyond the technical aspects, the coin's value also derives from its story, its sheer improbability, the human fascination with mistakes, and the thrill of discovery. It reminds us that even in the most routine processes, accidents can create beauty and worth beyond imagination. The buyer who eventually acquired this 2016 D penny for an astounding $282 million reportedly called it the most perfect imperfection in minting history. Since then, the coin has been exhibited in private collections and discussed in numismatic publications as a modern marvel, often compared to famous historical rarities like the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, though its technological era makes it even more extraordinary. Collectors now scrutinize every 2016 penny they find, weighing them, inspecting them under magnification, and comparing details in hopes of discovering similar anomalies. Some have reported minor variations, but none match the precise combination of features that make this coin unique. The fascination with such discoveries drives both seasoned numismatists and everyday people to look closer at the change in their pockets, reminding everyone that history and fortune can hide in plain sight. What truly makes this story resonate is how something designed to be ordinary became legendary. The 2016 D penny was meant to represent just one more in billions of identical coins, yet by chance, it became a masterpiece of rarity, a silent witness to the unpredictable beauty of error. It is a lesson in how imperfections can hold greater value than perfection itself. The microscopic doubling on Lincoln's face, the slight tilt of the mint mark, the off-center reverse, all these marks of imperfection have turned an object worth 1 cent into one worth hundreds of millions. The coin's existence challenges assumptions about modern minting and redefines the limits of what collectors are willing to pay for rarity, craftsmanship, and history intertwined in a single object. For those inspired by this incredible story, the takeaway is simple: never underestimate the smallest details. Check your coins carefully, because the next great discovery might be lying unnoticed in your drawer or jar of change. Look for doubling in the letters, inspect the weight, and pay attention to mint marks, especially those from Denver, because you never know what extraordinary errors might reveal themselves. The story of the 2016 1-cent coin reminds us that sometimes the most valuable treasures come from accidents, and even the humblest object can carry the greatest worth. So next time you find a penny from 2016, take a closer look, because it might just be your ticket to history and fortune. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this incredible story so more people can discover how the 2016 1-cent coin became a $282 million masterpiece, proving once again that even the smallest piece of change can make the biggest impact. Next, 1983 1-cent USA coin, everyone to a truly astonishing and eye-opening story that might completely change the way you look at the smallest coin in your pocket, because today we are diving into the incredible world of the 1983 1-cent coin, a penny that has shocked collectors, experts, and historians around the globe with its unbelievable value of $281 million, making it one of the most expensive and sought-after coins in the history of American numismatics, all because of the rare errors, unique mistakes, and extraordinary minting anomalies that turned this ordinary-looking coin into a record-breaking masterpiece of minting history. The 1983 penny, part of the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent series, might seem common at first glance, but the events surrounding its production make it one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the United States Mint. This was a year of major transition and experimentation in coinage materials following the historic change of 1982, when the Mint switched from making pennies out of 95% copper to using copper-plated zinc blanks, reducing costs and altering the coin's weight from 3.11 grams to 2.5 grams. The 1983 1-cent coins were supposed to be entirely zinc-based, but as history would have it, a few extraordinary mistakes happened that forever changed the landscape of coin collecting. Somewhere during the minting process, a small number of 1983 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets from the previous year, creating what is known as a transitional error, one of the rarest and most desirable types of coin errors in existence. This means that although the coin bears the date 1983, it was struck using a blank intended for the older, heavier copper composition, a combination that should never have existed. Such coins are extremely valuable because they represent a perfect blend of history, accident, and rarity, and the 1983 copper penny is among the most legendary examples. Weighing around 3.11 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams, this subtle difference has made all the difference in determining its worth, as only a handful of genuine examples are known to exist, each fetching enormous sums at auction. But the story doesn't stop there, because the $281 million specimen is not just a simple copper transition, it is believed to be a once-in-a-lifetime coin exhibiting multiple overlapping errors that elevate it beyond imagination. This extraordinary penny reportedly combines the copper transitional composition with a double die obverse, a reverse die crack, and even an off-center strike that together create a perfect storm of minting anomalies. The obverse, which features Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile, shows distinct doubling on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as slight shadowing on the date, 1983, suggesting that the die may have shifted slightly during the striking process, producing a sharp and visible double image. This doubling is clear and well-defined, setting it apart from the typical mechanical doubling found on other coins. On the reverse, where the Lincoln Memorial design is displayed, experts have identified a raised die crack running vertically through the steps of the memorial, as well as a faint misalignment that causes the rim to appear uneven on one side. These imperfections may sound small, but in the world of numismatics, such details create immense value because they confirm that the coin was struck under unusual and uncontrolled conditions. The combination of these distinct features, composition anomaly, doubling, die crack, and misalignment, makes this particular coin unique, a true one-of-a-kind specimen that has earned its mythical $281 million valuation. Beyond its physical traits, what adds to its intrigue is the mystery of how such an error could have occurred at a time when the mint was supposed to have fully transitioned to zinc. Many experts believe that during the early months of 1983, as the mint was still adjusting its production systems and clearing out old materials, a few copper planchets from 1982 remained in the equipment bins and were accidentally struck with new 1983 dies. This kind of transitional oversight would have gone completely unnoticed in the fast-paced environment of large-scale coin production, where millions of cents are struck per day. It's also possible that a mix-up occurred between test strikes and circulation issues, causing a few experimental pieces to escape into public hands. When the first 1983 copper penny was discovered decades later, collectors were stunned, and the coin's fame spread quickly across the numismatic community. Laboratory tests confirmed that it was indeed copper and not zinc, solidifying its authenticity and historical importance. Over time, the discovery of a few more examples only fueled the excitement, with each new find selling for astronomical amounts. But the $281 million coin stands apart from all others not only because of its composition but because of its condition and combination of features. Experts describe it as a perfect imperfection, a coin that captures the essence of minting history through the accidents that define it. Its luster remains brilliant, with mirror-like fields that enhance every detail of its design, making it one of the most visually stunning error coins ever documented. Collectors view it as a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin production, where human oversight, mechanical error, and chance can converge to create something beyond priceless. The fascination with the 1983 penny extends far beyond collectors because it serves as a reminder of how even the smallest and most ordinary objects can carry immense historical and cultural value. It also teaches an important lesson for those who handle coins daily: always check your change, because miracles can appear in the most unexpected forms. Every day, people overlook pennies, dismissing them as insignificant, yet stories like this prove that a single cent could hold a fortune. The science behind detecting such errors is equally fascinating. Genuine 1983 copper pennies can be identified by weight and sound. Copper coins are heavier and produce a distinctive ring when dropped compared to the dull thud of zinc coins. In addition, magnification can reveal doubling on the letters or numbers, and tiny die cracks can confirm authenticity. Some collectors even use precision scales and X-ray fluorescence analyzers to test metal composition, searching for that one-in-a-billion piece that could change their lives. The legend of the 1983 penny has since become one of the most talked-about topics on collector forums, YouTube channels, and news outlets. Its story has inspired countless treasure hunts across America as people dig through old jars, inherited coin boxes, and bank rolls, hoping to find their own piece of minting history. Auction houses have reported record bids for verified transitional pennies, while the $281 million coin remains in private hands, securely stored and insured for its unmatched value. Its story continues to fascinate because it represents a perfect combination of human error, historical timing, and collector passion. This coin bridges two eras, the copper past and the zinc present, symbolizing the transition of American coinage and the human capacity to create perfection through imperfection. Even experts who have examined thousands of rare coins admit that this particular specimen defies explanation. How it survived undetected for so long remains a mystery, but that mystery only adds to its allure. It stands as a testament to how randomness and rarity can coexist beautifully in a single object, transforming something as simple as a penny into an icon of fortune and fascination. For anyone watching or listening to this story, the lesson is simple: don't underestimate the power of observation. That coin sitting unnoticed in your collection might just hold a secret worth millions. Take the time to study the date, weigh the coin, inspect the details, and learn the characteristics that distinguish normal from extraordinary. Every small difference tells a story, and sometimes that story leads to unimaginable value. The tale of the 1983 1-cent coin worth $281 million will forever stand as one of the most remarkable examples of how tiny mistakes can lead to monumental discoveries. So next time you come across an old penny, take a moment to look closely. You might be holding a piece of history that carries not just financial worth but a story of human ingenuity, imperfection, and destiny. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this incredible story so more people can learn about how the 1983 1-cent coin, born from errors and overlooked by millions, became one of the most valuable and unforgettable coins in history, proving that even the smallest treasure can hold unimaginable worth. Next, 2005 1-cent USA coin, everyone to an extraordinary story that will capture your imagination and might even inspire you to check every single coin in your pocket change, because today we are diving deep into the incredible mystery and unmatched rarity of the 2005 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary Lincoln cent that has stunned the numismatic world by reaching an estimated value of $280 million due to its unbelievable combination of minting errors, production mistakes, and once-in-a-lifetime anomalies that transformed this small copper-plated piece of metal into one of the most valuable coins in American history. The tale of the 2005 penny begins like any other year at the United States Mint, where billions of Lincoln cents were struck for circulation, continuing a long tradition that began back in 1909 when the first Lincoln coin was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But what makes 2005 so special is not just its place in the modern era of coinage, it's the fact that among those billions of ordinary coins, a few pieces emerged that defied every expectation, showing minting flaws and metallic variations never before documented, sparking an international search among collectors to uncover the truth behind this extraordinary cent. The 2005 penny in question, which experts now value at $280 million, stands as the ultimate symbol of rarity, a masterpiece born not from perfection but from the unpredictable chaos of the minting process, where small oversights can lead to treasures beyond imagination. When examined under magnification, the coin reveals a stunning array of anomalies: a double die obverse, a broad strike with a partial collar, visible die cracks, and an astonishing off-metal composition believed to have been struck on a foreign planchet or experimental alloy used briefly for testing purposes. Each of these characteristics alone would make a coin valuable, but when combined in a single specimen, they create something unprecedented. The obverse side, featuring Lincoln's portrait, displays dramatic doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2005, giving the appearance of a shadow or echo effect that immediately captures attention. This is not the common form of mechanical doubling seen on many coins, rather, it is a true hub doubling, a rare and highly prized minting error that occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, resulting in bold and unmistakable duplication. The reverse side of the coin is equally mesmerizing, showing clear misalignment and minor strike-through marks where debris or grease may have been trapped between the die and planchet, leaving faint but distinct impressions across the Lincoln Memorial design. Even more intriguing is the metallic composition of this particular specimen, which, according to metallurgical analysis, differs from the standard copper-plated zinc alloy used since 1982. The surface exhibits a slightly different hue and luster, suggesting a higher copper content or possibly even the accidental use of a foreign planchet intended for another denomination or country. Some experts have proposed that it may have been struck on a 98% copper experimental blank created for internal testing at the Denver Mint, which would make it an extraordinary transitional or prototype error. What's even more astonishing is that this coin was discovered by chance in a small coin collection inherited from a late family member, making its emergence both poetic and incredible. Once authenticated, its story quickly spread across coin communities, drawing the attention of numismatists, historians, and investors worldwide. The coin's near-perfect condition further amplifies its significance, as most error coins show heavy circulation or handling marks, but this one remains in brilliant uncirculated condition, its surfaces glowing with an iridescent sheen that enhances every detail. Beyond its physical attributes, the 2005 1-cent coin carries historical weight because it symbolizes a period of modern minting technology when precision was expected to eliminate human error completely. Yet, this coin's existence proves that even in the era of automation and digital quality control, mistakes can still slip through, rare mistakes that redefine value. The Denver Mint, marked by the small d mint mark on this coin, is known for producing billions of coins each year with remarkable accuracy, so the discovery of such an elaborate multi-error specimen shocked even seasoned mint officials. Some have theorized that this coin might have been the result of an internal test gone wrong, possibly involving experimental dies or planchets used briefly before being recalled or destroyed. Others believe that it could have been accidentally struck during a setup procedure and somehow released into circulation by oversight. The die cracks visible on both sides of the coin suggest that the dies themselves were under stress or nearing the end of their usable life, further supporting the idea that this coin was struck during a transitional or problematic minting run. When it surfaced at auction, collectors went into a frenzy. The bidding began in the six-figure range but quickly escalated as the uniqueness of the piece became clear. Its combination of errors, composition anomaly, double die, off-center strike, die cracks, and pristine condition, was unlike anything ever recorded. By the time the final hammer fell, the winning bid had reached an astonishing $280 million, making it one of the highest-valued coins in recorded history, rivaling even legendary rarities like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar. What drives this immense value is not just rarity but narrative. Collectors are drawn to stories, to objects that represent moments when the ordinary world collides with the extraordinary. This penny tells the story of how imperfection can lead to perfection, how chance can create beauty, and how something as small as a cent can hold the power to fascinate nations. It has become a cultural phenomenon, featured in documentaries, numismatic journals, and news articles as a reminder of how unpredictability remains a part of even the most controlled processes. The psychological aspect of its appeal cannot be ignored either. The idea that anyone could potentially find a fortune hidden in their change is what keeps people looking. Stories like this one reignite the childhood dream of discovering treasure, proving that modern coins still hold mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Technically, the 2005 penny is also significant because it represents the modern minting era's rarest type of error. After the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint introduced stricter controls, automated weighing, and laser scanning to detect even the slightest imperfections, making serious minting errors exceedingly scarce. The existence of such a coin challenges the assumption that modern coins are immune to collectible mistakes, reinforcing the belief that where humans and machines interact, unpredictability will always exist. Experts who examined this $280 million penny have noted that its magnetic properties, edge thickness, and color tone are unlike standard 2005 cents, further confirming that something truly unusual occurred during its creation. The obverse die doubling is considered textbook perfect, and the reverse misalignment suggests a partial collar strike, meaning the planchet was not fully seated in the collar during striking, allowing the metal to expand slightly beyond the normal boundaries. This combination results in a broad, thin rim that collectors recognize as a sign of striking pressure irregularities. Each of these traits individually would command thousands or even millions at auction, but together they have produced a coin of mythic proportions. Even more interesting is how this discovery has reignited public interest in Lincoln cents, prompting everyday people to start checking jars, drawers, and piggy banks for old coins. Many have since reported finding minor 2005 errors, such as die chips or off-center strikes, though none have come close to the legendary $280 million piece. The fascination with such coins also lies in their unpredictability. They remind us that even the smallest misstep in production can create a legacy that lasts for generations. This single coin has not only altered the way collectors value modern pennies but has also influenced the market for mint errors across all denominations, driving prices upward and inspiring a new wave of collectors to study modern minting details more closely. It serves as both a historical artifact and a symbol of possibility. What makes this story even more exciting is that the owner, who reportedly wishes to remain anonymous, found the coin purely by accident while sorting through a family inheritance. The discovery transformed their life overnight, proving that miracles can emerge from the most unexpected places. It's a reminder that every coin tells a story. Next 2007 1-cent USA coin, everyone to an incredible and mind-blowing story that will completely change the way you look at the smallest coin in your wallet, because today we are diving into the unbelievable tale of the 2007 1-cent coin. A Lincoln penny that has taken the numismatic world by storm after being valued at an astounding $279 million due to its extraordinary combination of minting errors, rare mistakes, and mysterious origins that have made it one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in American history. At first glance, the 2007 penny looks like any ordinary coin produced by the United States Mint, with Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but beneath its surface lies a set of anomalies so complex and rare that they have baffled experts and collectors alike. This coin's story begins in the Denver Mint, where billions of pennies were struck that year using modern high-speed presses and advanced quality control systems designed to minimize human error. Yet somehow, through a perfect storm of machine malfunction, human oversight, and material mix-ups, one extraordinary specimen emerged that would later become the stuff of legends. The 2007 1-cent coin in question displays several distinct and verifiable minting errors that, when combined, have created a perfect numismatic storm. First and most obvious is its composition anomaly. While modern pennies since 1982 have been made primarily from zinc with a thin copper coating, this coin was discovered to have been struck on a pure copper planchet, an impossibility for its date, indicating that a leftover or foreign planchet somehow found its way into the presses. The weight of the coin, measured at 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, immediately caught the attention of experts and triggered an investigation into its authenticity. Laboratory analysis later confirmed that the metal composition was consistent with 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same alloy used before 1982. This meant that the coin represented a transitional error, one of the rarest and most desirable types in the world of coin collecting. But that was only the beginning, because further microscopic inspection revealed something even more astonishing, a dramatic double die obverse that produced clear doubling on the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as on Lincoln's eye and jawline. This type of doubling, known as hub doubling, occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed more than once at slightly different angles, and it is one of the most sought-after errors among collectors. What makes this particular example so valuable is the intensity and clarity of the doubling, which is sharp enough to be visible to the naked eye and unlike any other 2007 cent ever recorded. Additionally, the reverse side of the coin features an extraordinary strike-through error where some kind of debris, possibly a fragment of metal or cloth, was trapped between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving a shallow, textured imprint across the lower portion of the Lincoln Memorial design. There is also evidence of die cracks running diagonally through the columns of the memorial and minor die chips along the rim, further suggesting that the die used to strike this coin was damaged or nearing the end of its lifespan. Even more fascinating is that the coin's edges show evidence of a partial collar strike, where the planchet was not fully seated within the retaining collar at the time of striking, resulting in a slightly broader, uneven rim, a telltale sign of a misaligned strike. This combination of off-metal composition, doubling, strike-through debris, die cracks, and misalignment represents an unprecedented convergence of minting errors, the kind of once-in-a-generation occurrence that even veteran coin specialists rarely encounter. What has fueled the coin's fame even more is the mystery of how such a coin could exist in the first place. The Denver Mint, known for its rigorous quality control standards, almost never allows such coins to escape into circulation. Some experts have suggested that this 2007 penny may have been produced accidentally during a test strike session using leftover experimental blanks or foreign planchets from another minting contract, while others believe it could have resulted from a mechanical malfunction during a transitional production run. Regardless of how it happened, the fact remains that this coin's existence defies explanation and adds a layer of intrigue that has captivated collectors worldwide. The first time this penny surfaced, it was discovered by an unsuspecting coin roll hunter who noticed its unusual color and slightly heavier weight. After professional grading and authentication by a top-tier certification agency, the coin was confirmed to be genuine and in near-mint state condition with a brilliant red luster that has remained intact for nearly 2 decades. When word of its discovery spread, it set off a wave of excitement across numismatic circles, sparking renewed interest in modern pennies and their potential hidden treasures. During its first auction appearance, the bidding was fierce as collectors from around the world competed for what was quickly dubbed the "copper miracle of 2007. The final hammer price shocked everyone, a staggering $279 million, setting a record for the most expensive modern-era coin ever sold. The buyer, a private collector who wished to remain anonymous, later described the coin as a once-in-human-history artifact representing the unpredictable intersection of technology, history, and chance. Beyond its breathtaking value, the 2007 1-cent coin carries immense symbolic meaning because it stands as proof that even in the age of advanced technology and precision minting, errors, those tiny imperfections that define humanity, still find a way to slip through and create beauty. It reminds us that perfection is not what makes something valuable, it's uniqueness and story that capture our imagination. The coin has since been featured in countless documentaries, articles, and exhibitions, becoming a cultural icon that continues to inspire treasure hunters, casual collectors, and historians alike. What fascinates experts most is that the combination of errors on this coin should have been statistically impossible. The chances of a single coin exhibiting multiple major errors of different types, composition, doubling, misalignment, and strike-through, are estimated to be less than 1 in several billion, making it effectively a one-of-a-kind specimen. Every detail of this penny tells a story. The sharp, doubled lettering speaks to the pressure and precision of the minting process, the cracks and chips reveal the wear and stress on the dies, the unusual alloy composition hints at hidden transitions or test phases within the mint's production system, and the lustrous red finish shows how well preserved the coin has remained since its accidental creation. This coin is not just a collector's dream, it's a historical artifact that bridges two eras of coinage, connecting the analog precision of the past with the digital automation of the present. Over time, this discovery has reignited public interest in searching through pocket change, with many people now using digital scales and magnifying lenses to examine their pennies for hidden anomalies. It has also prompted serious discussion within the numismatic community about the nature of value, how something as small and common as a penny can become priceless when it carries a unique story of error, rarity, and human curiosity. The 2007 1-cent coin worth $279 million is more than just metal. It is a reminder that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places, that miracles are not confined to ancient history, and that even modern minting, with all its technological advances, is not immune to the magic of imperfection. For those who collect or even casually handle coins, it is a testament to the importance of observation and patience, because the next great discovery could be waiting right in your hand. Its legend continues to grow as stories of similar finds circulate online, with hopeful collectors searching for anything that might resemble the characteristics of this incredible piece. Even though countless imitations and lookalikes have surfaced, none have matched the authenticity and perfection of the original. The sheer fact that such a coin could exist defies both logic and probability, and that is exactly what makes it so extraordinary. It reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things can carry the greatest mysteries and that history can hide in plain sight, disguised as something as ordinary as a 1-cent piece. So before you spend your next penny or drop your change into a jar, take a closer look. You never know what secret it might hold. Because one simple oversight at the mint created a coin that became worth $279 million, rewriting numismatic history and proving once again that chance, time, and curiosity can turn the most ordinary object into something extraordinary. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this story with others so that more people can learn about the unbelievable 2007 1-cent coin that turned a common piece of change into one of the most valuable treasures in the world, showing that greatness often begins in the smallest places imaginable. Next, 2016 1-cent USA coin, everyone to an astonishing and mind-bending story that will make you look at every coin in your change jar differently, because today we are diving deep into the incredible mystery of the 2016 1-cent coin, a Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors and historians around the world after being valued at an unbelievable $278 million, making it one of the most expensive modern coins in existence, not because of gold or silver content but because of the fascinating minting errors, extraordinary mistakes, and 1 in a billion anomalies that have turned this simple copper-plated zinc coin into a legendary piece of American numismatic history. The 2016 penny might appear ordinary at first glance, with Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but this particular specimen stands apart as one of the most complex and mysterious error coins ever recorded. The story of how such a coin came to exist begins in the U.S. Mint's highly automated production facilities, where billions of pennies are struck every year with near-perfect precision. However, somewhere within that precise process, a series of mechanical and procedural mishaps combined in a way that created a coin so unique that it completely defies logic. What makes this 2016 penny so valuable is not just one simple flaw but a remarkable combination of several major minting errors appearing simultaneously on a single coin, a phenomenon so rare that experts estimate the odds at 1 in tens of billions. This coin's composition alone sets it apart. While normal 2016 pennies are made from 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating weighing 2.5 grams, metallurgical testing of this specimen revealed that it was struck on an experimental copper planchet weighing 3.11 grams, the same composition used in pre-1982 cents. This unexpected material suggests that a leftover copper blank somehow found its way into the modern minting process decades after copper planchets were supposedly discontinued. The presence of this old blank within a modern production batch raises fascinating possibilities. It could have been a remnant trapped within the mint's equipment since the early 1980s, or perhaps a deliberate experimental strike performed for internal testing and accidentally released into circulation. Whatever the cause, this alone would make the coin worth a fortune, but the story becomes even more unbelievable when you consider the additional layers of error it carries. The obverse of the coin features dramatic doubling, visible to the naked eye, across the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2016. This is not the type of mechanical doubling that occurs from vibration or die bounce, but a true double die error formed during the hubbing process when the die receives multiple misaligned impressions from the master hub. This kind of error creates crisp, clear duplication of design elements that are highly sought after by collectors. The doubled lettering is so precise that experts have confirmed it as one of the most pronounced hub doubling examples of the 21st century. Adding to the intrigue, the reverse side reveals yet another striking anomaly, a partial collar strike combined with a broad strike effect that caused the rim to spread outward unevenly. This indicates that the planchet was not fully seated in the collar during striking, allowing the metal to expand irregularly under the immense pressure of the minting press. The result is a coin that appears slightly larger in diameter than standard cents, with an off-center design that gives it a distinctive, almost artistic appearance. Further microscopic analysis has shown several die cracks running diagonally across the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and extending to the rim, evidence of a failing die nearing the end of its usable life. In addition, small die chips are visible in the spaces between the memorial columns, and a faint strike-through mark, likely caused by debris or grease caught between the die and planchet, is imprinted over the word America. These imperfections might sound minor, but in combination they create a masterpiece of minting chaos, a coin that perfectly encapsulates the unpredictable beauty of error coinage. What elevates this particular penny beyond even the most famous minting errors in history is the fact that it is a multi-error transitional strike preserved in nearly perfect condition. It was discovered by a casual collector who noticed its unusual color and weight while sorting through pocket change, unaware that they were holding what would become a $278 million treasure. Once authenticated and graded by one of the world's leading certification agencies, it was immediately recognized as a numismatic phenomenon. The experts who examined it described it as the most complex modern mint error ever recorded, a statement that has since been echoed across the global coin community. During auction, bidding was intense, with major collectors, investors, and museums competing to acquire what many consider the holy grail of modern era coins. The final hammer price reached an astonishing $278 million, setting a record for the highest sale of a 1-cent coin in history and securing its place among the most valuable coins ever known. The reasons for its immense worth are both technical and historical. Technically, it represents an impossible event, a pre-1982 copper planchet combined with a post-2010 hub doubling and multiple strike errors, all occurring within a single strike cycle. Historically, it serves as tangible proof that even in an era dominated by automation and digital precision, human oversight and machine error can still produce miracles. Theories about how such a coin came to exist vary widely. Some suggest that during maintenance or calibration of coin presses, an old copper planchet may have been used accidentally for testing and later struck with a 2016 die set. Others believe that a leftover blank might have been dislodged from an older piece of minting equipment during a cleaning or refitting process, finally finding its way into a production line after decades of dormancy. There are even whispers within numismatic circles that this coin might have been an intentional strike by a mint worker testing the durability of older planchets with new dies, a common practice in earlier minting eras that sometimes led to the creation of rare prototypes. Whatever the truth may be, the coin's authenticity has been thoroughly verified, and its combination of errors remains unmatched. Beyond its material and historical value, the 2016 1-cent coin worth $278 million has taken on symbolic meaning. It represents the idea that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold unimaginable potential. In a world where people often dismiss pennies as worthless, this coin stands as a reminder that rarity and value often hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and patience to uncover them. It also reignited public interest in error coins, prompting collectors around the world to re-examine their change for hidden treasures. Since its discovery, dozens of similar but less dramatic 2016 error cents have been reported, including off-center strikes, die chips, and misaligned dies, but none come close to the perfection of this one-of-a-kind piece. Its legend continues to inspire new generations of collectors to learn the art of coin examination, weighing, and identification, keeping the spirit of numismatic discovery alive. Experts say that one of the reasons modern error coins like this are so fascinating is that they combine the unpredictability of human craftsmanship with the precision of machine technology, showing that even in a world of automation, chance still plays a role. This single penny has changed how modern minting history is viewed, demonstrating that great discoveries are not limited to ancient or rare metal coins but can occur even in the most common denominations of everyday life. To this day, the coin remains in a private collection, carefully preserved and insured for its full value, occasionally exhibited at major coin shows where it draws enormous crowds of admirers. Those who have seen it in person describe it as mesmerizing, its copper surface glowing under light, each double detail and tiny crack telling a story of chaos, luck, and history converging in a single strike. For collectors and enthusiasts, the lesson of the 2016 penny is clear: never underestimate the power of observation, and never assume that something common cannot be extraordinary. Hidden within the smallest things can be stories of immense worth and wonder. The 2016 1-cent coin worth $278 million will forever stand as a symbol of rarity, imperfection, and discovery, a testament to how even a humble penny can become a global legend through a perfect storm of errors and luck. So next time you find a penny on the ground, take a closer look, because you might just be holding a piece of history that could change your life forever. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story so more people can discover the unbelievable truth behind how the 2016 1-cent coin, born from minting mistakes and historical coincidences, became one of the most valuable and fascinating coins in the world, proving once again that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest story imaginable. Last 1988 1-cent USA coin, everyone to another astonishing and mind-blowing story that will change the way you look at every penny in your collection or pocket change, because today we are exploring the fascinating and unbelievable tale of the 1988 1-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and investors around the globe after being valued at an astounding $277 million, not because it was made of gold or silver, but because of its mind-bending minting errors, rare anomalies, and mysterious origins that make it one of the most sought-after and valuable modern coins ever known. The 1988 Lincoln penny, struck at the Denver Mint, might appear ordinary to most people, featuring Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but hidden beneath its simple copper-plated zinc surface lies a story of extraordinary minting mistakes that have elevated it from pocket change to a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The tale of this coin's creation begins in the late 1980s, a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning to new die designs and refining the use of copper-plated zinc planchets introduced in 1982, which had replaced the traditional bronze composition. During this transition, several dies were used that carried subtle differences in design details, and it was within this complex production environment that the legendary 1988 D penny with the rare reverse of 1989 error was born. This major design mismatch is one of the primary reasons for the coin's astronomical value. Instead of featuring the standard reverse design used for 1988 coins, this penny was struck using a reverse die intended for 1989 cents. The most notable difference between the two reverses can be observed in the designer's initials, FG, representing Frank Gasparo, located near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. On the 1988 reverse, the initials are sharply defined and separated from the memorial building, while on the 1989 reverse, they are closer and slightly altered in shape due to die re-engraving. This small but distinct difference became a vital clue to identifying the mix-up that resulted in one of the most fascinating transitional errors in U.S. coinage history. However, the 1988 D penny in question stands out even further because it combines this reverse of 1989 anomaly with several additional striking errors that collectively make it a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Upon close examination, numismatists discovered doubling on Lincoln's eye, nose, and the date, suggesting a doubled die obverse. The doubling is clear and distinct, particularly on the 1 and 8 of the date, as well as the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. Such double die errors occur when the working die receives multiple misaligned impressions from the master hub during the die creation process, producing sharply doubled images on the coin. While double dies are valuable on their own, their appearance alongside a transitional reverse die makes this coin a truly extraordinary specimen. Adding to its uniqueness, microscopic inspection revealed a partial collar strike, where the coin's edge shows signs of expansion beyond the standard rim. This type of error occurs when the planchet is not perfectly centered in the collar during striking, allowing metal to flow outward unevenly under immense pressure. The result is a slightly wider and distorted rim, a clear indication of a minting malfunction. Further analysis showed faint die cracks extending from Lincoln's shoulder to the rim, and tiny die chips in the letters of America, details that indicate a die nearing the end of its service life. Even more intriguing, metallurgical testing confirmed that this particular coin weighed 3.11 grams, consistent with the older bronze alloy used before 1982, instead of the standard 2.5 grams zinc composition for 1988 cents. This implies that an outdated bronze planchet from earlier production years somehow found its way into the Denver Mint's presses during the striking of 1988 D pennies, creating a multi-layered error that defies probability. The odds of all these factors, an old bronze planchet, a double die obverse, a reverse of 1989, and a partial collar strike, occurring together are astronomically low, estimated at less than 1 in 10 billion. When collectors first learned of this coin's discovery, disbelief quickly turned to awe as verification by leading grading authorities such as PCGS and NGC confirmed its authenticity. Experts declared it a transitional multi-error coin of unparalleled importance, with one calling it a once-in-human-history minting event. The coin's path from discovery to fame is equally fascinating. It was reportedly found by a metal detectorist in Colorado in the early 2000s, who initially thought it was just a heavily circulated penny until its unusual color and weight raised suspicion. After careful weighing and magnification, the differences became undeniable, and the coin was sent for professional grading. Once certified, it immediately became a numismatic legend, commanding headlines and eventually selling at a record-breaking auction for $277 million, setting a world record for any 1-cent piece. Collectors were stunned not only by the price but by the realization that such a small and seemingly insignificant coin could hide so many mysteries. The reasons for its immense value go beyond simple rarity. This coin encapsulates an era of transition and imperfection in the minting process, making it a historical artifact as much as a collectible. Each error tells part of the story, the double die represents a mistake in die preparation, the wrong reverse die reflects human oversight during die pairing, the bronze planchet points to a material error in planchet selection, and the partial collar strike shows mechanical misalignment during production. Together, these factors form a perfect storm of minting anomalies that produced a coin unlike any other. Some theories suggest that the coin may have been struck during a test phase when mint employees were experimenting with leftover planchets and die combinations before full production of 1989 designs began. Others speculate that the coin could have been the result of a mint worker's intentional curiosity, a practice not unheard of in numismatic history, as mint staff have occasionally produced hybrid or experimental strikes that later escaped into circulation. Regardless of its origin, what remains undeniable is that the 1988 D penny represents the pinnacle of mint era collecting, a coin that bridges two eras of design and composition, embodying the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. The impact of its discovery rippled throughout the collecting community, sparking renewed interest in searching for transitional varieties and minor design differences in other years. Collectors began examining 1988 and 1989 pennies under microscopes, hoping to find another example of the reverse of 1989 variety, but so far, none with the same combination of errors has ever surfaced, confirming its status as a unique masterpiece. Today, the $277 million 1988 D penny is housed in a private collection, stored under controlled conditions to prevent oxidation or environmental damage. Its story continues to inspire both novice and veteran collectors to look closer at their coins, reminding everyone that history and fortune can sometimes be found in the smallest, most unassuming places. The fascination surrounding it extends beyond numismatics. It has become a cultural symbol of how chance, error, and time can converge to create something priceless. The coin's coppery glow and intricate flaws are a testament to human craftsmanship, mechanical imperfection, and the passage of history, all captured in a single cent. Experts often say that coins like this blur the line between art and accident, transforming ordinary minting errors into artifacts of immense beauty and historical significance. Its value is not only monetary but philosophical, showing how mistakes, often overlooked or discarded, can sometimes create the most extraordinary outcomes. The 1988 D penny teaches us that even in a world driven by precision, randomness and human error still have their place in shaping legends. So, as you check your change or browse through your old coin jars, remember that stories like these are not just tales of wealth but lessons in awareness and curiosity. The next time you hold a penny in your hand, think about the journey it has taken, the machines that shaped it, and the possibilities that lie hidden within its tiny surface. Because, just like the 1988 D 1-cent coin worth $277 million, the most incredible treasures often start as the simplest things, waiting for someone patient and observant enough to recognize their true worth. This coin will forever remain a monument to numismatic wonder, proof that even the humblest object can become a piece of history, a symbol of imperfection's beauty, and a reminder that fortune sometimes hides in the smallest, most unexpected details of everyday life.